What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update, and let's get straight into it, starting off with the manager search and starting off with Xabi Alonso. The Mirror are reporting that Xabi Alonso has emerged as Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy's top choice to become manager and is now ready to pay the financial package in order to hire the Bayer Leverkusen boss. And it is understood that 1 year's salary will be the compensation needed to secure the 41-year-old services. So no more Nagelsmann.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, it's a Daily Mirror, so they're not as reliable as the sources claiming that Nagelsmann is our top choice. I do think it's probably Tottenham either putting pressure on Nagelsmann or maybe as well keeping their options open when it comes to new manager. I think they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket, maybe like they have done before, and when it all falls flat, we're kind of back in square one. If Nagelsmann rejects us and we move on to Alonso, I think that's probably the reality. When it comes to compensation, like, I wonder how much it would cost to get him out of Leverkusen. They're saying 1 year's salary, but is there not going to be compensation on top of that, like a fee you have to pay Leverkusen, I'm assuming?
I think that is the fee.
Well, 1 year's salary?
Yeah.
But then so 1 year's salary to get, well, how much is he on a year?
He's on 5 million.
So apparently that would be a bit cheaper than, but that wouldn't make sense. How long is his contract up for? That wouldn't make too much sense if that's all there. Because if he's doing that well for them, why would they not ask for more than 5 million?
Let's see when his contract is up until no, that can't be right.
But anyway, I find that interesting. There would only be 5 million. I thought it would be a bit more than that because he's
2024.
So end of next year. Oh, that's why it's 1 year salary, because he's only signed a 2 year deal. So that makes sense actually then from that point of view. I like him. I think he's really talented. He's doing a great job at Leverkusen. He wouldn't be my top choice just because of Nagelsmann being there. But he's a good backup option to fall on.
Yeah, I completely agree. And as you say, if Nagelsmann rejects us, we'll probably go for Alonso. And if Alonso rejects us, we'll probably go for the next guy, which is Arne Slot, as the Mirror are reporting that if Xabi Alonso does not take up the Tottenham job, Daniel Levy will then turn to Feyenoord's Arne Slot.
So the Mirror is saying that we're not in for Nagelsmann. Is that what they're saying?
Not in this report, yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't make sense. That can't be true because we clearly are. I think a lot of the good, reliable reports are saying that we are. So, but I'm glad that we've got these backup options now, because I think we need to get the ball rolling now, and if we get rejected early, then you move on and start working on your other targets, as opposed to what happened last time out, where we kind of kept getting rejected and then kept going back to square one, and it was like pre-season was nearing, and the nearer it got, like, we never seemed closer to a manager. So it's positive. I like Arne Slot as well. I think he's done a fantastic job, but I think he's, as you say, he's not in first choice.
But to have someone like Arne Slot as like your third choice, I mean, not bad, is it?
Not bad. I think the options that we've got available to us are promising, and I think we've got the right list this time.
Yeah. Let's talk about players now, and let's talk about Frank Kessie of Barcelona, as Sport are reporting that Tottenham have asked Barcelona to name their price for the midfielder Frank Kessie, who is set to leave the Nou Camp this summer. Yeah, he hasn't had the best first season, has he? But if I was Barcelona, I would be patient. I would just not panic and sell him straight away. I know they've got other options in central midfield, but I think that they signed him on a free. I think he's got really loads of ability. I actually don't think he's been that bad whenever he's played for Barca. He's found it hard to get into the team for one reason or another. But if he's available, Spurs should definitely be looking at him, albeit again, he definitely ups the quality of the team, but we do have players of similar profile to him. So it would be definitely the kind of profile of midfielder that we need, but he's definitely an upgrade on what we have. Yeah, in my opinion, though, if someone like him is available on the market and you can seriously go get him, then you probably have to make do with it and get rid of someone that we've got already. And I think someone like Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, if you're comparing the two players, I mean, Kessie is probably night and day better than Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, so I'd love to see Kessie come in at the expense of him.
Yeah, I would. For sure, but again, they're different kind of profiles. But I think Kessie was a bit more box to box at AC Milan. I think he was much more of a player with goal contributions. And then I think he's seen as a different player at Barca. Maybe that's the issue.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, talking about Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, there's some really interesting quotes from him coming out today, talking about the hard season that the Spurs players have had to go through. And I'll read out the quotes. And he says, Newcastle, rubbish result. Liverpool 2, results you feel ashamed about. Of course you feel responsible. The whole team does. Club staff too. We need to do the basics properly and not collapse when we have bad days. Clubs have safety nets to secure themselves against these collapses. And when it asked if Tottenham currently have these safety nets, he says, I think you know the answer to that. We've had 3 coaches in the last 3 months. Clearly, we've lost some balance. Not saying we've got the clubs that we don't have the club support, but you need to know the right culture at the club, the DNA, the identity. This is built over time through good and bad experiences. You get to know each other as a team and as a club. The best teams in the world build this over time. When asked if they've not been able to perform, or why they've not been able to perform, he says, I disagree. It's a much bigger picture. Things are happening, but it's true. We don't know who our next coach is, who our next director of football is. All these things create unrest and show a lack of long-term planning. All of that will come when we get our next coach and director of football. But until then, obviously, some players will point to it as an issue. Not my place to analyse this. I need to make myself available as a player to keep developing as a player. But when you've had 3 managers in a season, that's tricky. I mean, is he taking shots at the ownership there?
Definitely, in my opinion. I wouldn't say taking shots, but he's definitely saying they're an issue. He's definitely criticising 100%. Lack of long-term planning. I mean, who else is that a shot at but the ownership? And I think he's absolutely spot on. I think this is something the fans have been pointing out for a long time. I think the look of the position we're in now, when Paratici was known for a while that he wasn't going to be at this club for next season, the fact that we're struggling to not struggle, we haven't got a manager in place and all that kind of stuff, like that does show a lack of long-term planning from the hierarchy, albeit that can all change, but this could have all got the ball rolling a lot quicker than it is now, and I think that does goes to show that the decision making is not forthright. It has not been seen from the long term. It's all been very short termism over the last few years, and I think especially since Hojbjerg's been here, I think he's absolutely spot on with what he's saying. I think we've lost our identity as well. I think the culture has shifted a lot, and as well, I thought it was interesting when he says some players might use that as an excuse. I wonder if players have been speaking about that in the changing room, and maybe
it seems as though they have.
They clearly have, if that's what he's saying. And I wonder who he's talking about when he says some players are could be making it as excuses, as something to point to as why we're not playing well. So clearly it's an issue, and maybe that's why a lot of the performances have been lackluster this season, and why we've seen maybe a lack of cohesion between the team. But I was interested, I wonder what players specifically he's referring to.
Yeah, it's interesting when you hear someone like Pierre, who always, most of the time wears his heart on his sleeve. When he comes out with comments like that, then there's clearly crazy big problems at the football club. I mean, the fans have been saying it for a while, but when the players start coming out and saying the same things the fans are saying, massive change needs to happen.
Definitely. And Danny Rose as well recently said he was coming out and he was saying how he was saying things that people are saying now, and he's saying it a few years ago, and he said I got criticised for it, but now people say look back at what I said really fondly. So maybe so that's something to listen to as well.
Yeah, I love that Danny Rose comment. It was like when he was watching the game, he goes, after watching that, I'm surprised I don't have a club.
Yeah,
it's just it's true. Danny Rose probably could have played in that Newcastle game.
Probably
and played a better performance. But look, those comments from Hojbjerg, I'd like to know your opinions on them in the comment section below. But that is your Tottenham update for today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,